Good morning. Today I'm going to show you a card using the Painted Harvest stamp set that I used in a couple of videos ago. Made a fall card with it that time, and this time I'm going to do a Christmas card. And instead of doing a flower, I'm going to use the same stamps that made the flower to make a wreath. So let's get started. I'm using 3 pieces of cardstock. We have one that our greeting is going to be on that measures 1 3/8 by 2 inches. A piece that our wreath is going to be stamped on that is 3 3/4 inches by 3 1/8 inches. And then of course the base of the card, which is 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And I scored it at 5 1/2 inches. So just fold that in half and set it aside for now. And then let's go ahead and stamp our wreath. And using the outside flower stamp, wreath stamp, whatever you want to consider it now, I am going to ink my stamp and then come in with a piece of scrap paper and stamp off, and then come back in and try to get this toward the center of my cardstock. Stamp my flower, and it's going to be fairly light, and that's cool. That's what I want. It's going to add dimension to the card. And then come back in with a smaller flower stamp, now wreath stamp. And try to center, I'm going to try to center the two centers together. Doesn't have to be exact, that's what makes it cool. Every card is unique, right? So there you go, there's your wreath. Then come back in with your real red Stampin' Write marker, and I'm actually going to use the coloring end. There's also a journaling tip, but I want to get a lot more color a lot more quickly, and I'm going to come in and just color in some berries for the wreath. And they don't have to be perfect, obviously. Nothing in nature is perfect. That's the cool thing about it. And you can do 5 or 6 sets of these. Let's do 5. All right. The next thing I want to do is just move that off to the side too. Come back in with my piece for my greeting. And the other stamp that I'm using, the stamp set, is called Christmas Pines. And it's on page 120 in the annual catalog. It looks like this. Christmas Pines. And then I'm using the sentiment, or sorry, the greeting out of it. And let's see if I can get this on here relatively straight and centered. If it happens, I'm going to be overjoyed. Hey, that looks pretty good. Good job. Yay, I did it. All right, so I'm going to turn this over because I want to mount this piece on my card with dimensionals. So I'll put a dimensional on each side. And then I'm going to come in with my wreath, and using the fast fuse, go ahead and put some tape on the back of this and just stick it to the side when you're finished with your strip of glue, and that way it'll break the glue so that it doesn't string everywhere. And then come back in and try to evenly at the top and the left side, in the upper left corner of your card, try to mount your wreath there. Trying to get it straight. It's okay if it's not perfect, right? And then come back in and take your little pieces off of your dimensionals, the backing, and down in the right side of your card, do the same thing with getting the borders kind of even. Doesn't have to be perfect. And there's that. And then one last step. To give your berries a little bit of dimension, I'm using the fine tip glue pen, and you just squeeze it just a bit. Not much, because it really comes out quickly. It's really thin, clear glue. But it will give your berries dimension and shine. And then just set this, once you're finished, set this off to the side because it takes a little bit of time for this liquid glue to dry. And then to close up your glue, it has this little tip on it, and you need to make sure that this little needle goes in the tip. So just put it right in like that. And then I like to store mine on its side just to give me double reassurance that that tip is not going to get clogged up. And that's my card today. May the simple joys of the season be yours. And it shows a different way to use a stamp set. So I really like that when you have more than one uses for a stamp set. Makes it worth the money, right? I'll see you again next time. Thank you.